Welcome back to This Day. Joining me now is Kush Bada, Director of Third Mutual. Thank you for taking the time to be here today. How's your summer going so far since I saw you last time? Been doing anything fun? It's hot, yes.
But it was a good relief to have that.
I know, that little tropical storm. I definitely felt like I was back in Mexico. And funny enough, my boys weren't home. They were actually at a birthday party sleepover, but for years and years, my kids, whenever it rains, they're like, let's put on the football gear. We want to go and play in the rain. And, and so on that particular day, I'm like, they're not, here it was, we're having a warm rain. And I'm like, they weren't home to play football in it.
That reminds me of being in India.
Yeah?
Yeah, because the rain is from June through September.
Oh.
And we get an average of 100 to 115 inches a year.
Wow.
Yeah, so we are used to it.
Okay.
And flooding is normal, but it floods that moment and then it's gone in about half an hour, 45 minutes, yeah.
Oh my goodness,
Yes,
wow.
yes.
Yeah, so interesting. I know, and then here we're like, we got 2 inches and there's flooding. Californians can't drive in the rain, right? Well, moving to business, just to reiterate, for those that don't know, Third Mutual, you take care of the housing, correct?
Correct.
Yes. And those are the areas that you guys oversee. So one of the first things we wanted to talk about today is the August 15th meeting and recap what happened at the meeting. First off, you guys talked about considering rescinding the barbecue policy.
That is correct.
So what was the barbecue policy currently?
Oh, barbecue policy was a multiple page policy. You'd need a PhD to remember everything. But the main thing is that we are requesting people to use common sense and to follow all the OCFA guidelines. What you see on the screen right now is the important part, and you may be able to get more information if you just call the OCFA or get to their website. The bottom line is use common sense. Don't wear very loose clothing when you're barbecuing. Don't let the children, your grandchildren, whoever's visiting, to get close to the barbecue. So, and it's lovely to barbecue. And nothing wrong with that. And bottom line, use common sense.
So the main problem before was just that the policy was so long that probably nobody even read it.
Maybe. So it's simple.
Yes.
It's not really brain surgery.
Well, so, I like how it says, make sure to keep your children and pets at least 3 feet away from the grill.
Correct.
My husband had a cat years ago that would actually go onto the grill and steal a hot dog.
Wow, and it survived?
And it survived. Wow. I know. We don't know how it didn't burn its paws or whatever, but.
Nice. Yes. And keep a fire extinguisher close just in case.
Yes. It's always good to be prepared.
Yes.
Okay, and then the other thing is you guys are working on the 2024 budget.
Correct. This is the crunch time, and we want to get it done. We also had another meeting about the budget yesterday, and we are working very hard to keep it as low as possible. But with the inflation and all the craziness that's going on around that, we are expecting an increase of about 5%. Although any increase is not very well accepted,
right?
But we don't have a choice but to expect a little increase.
What are the types of things that you look at that go into the budget that you have to plan for?
Employee costs, union, employee union, and then the other construction material, contracts. It's a whole big thing.
Okay.
We have a very huge endeavor here. It's almost like running a big resort or a city. Our budgets are big, so you have to consider many things.
Okay, there's a lot of things that go into it. Yeah. And is there usually an increase each year?
We try not to. Last year, I think, or year before last, we did not have any increase.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's been a couple of years since there's been an
Correct.
increase.
Yes.
And is 5% a normal sized increase?
The cost of living increase was around 3.8 or 4%, and 5, it's almost there. So in 2 years, if you have a 5% increase, it's not a huge, but we work very hard to see wherever it's possible to trim the fat.
Okay.
Yeah, in simple words.
And so do you know the numbers, like for somebody's monthly bill, like what a 5% increase would add on to their bill? Or is that?
I can't tell you this right now because we are not ready to talk about it.
Okay.
So.
But that's looking the way it may go.
Yeah, it could be 4 3/4, it could be 5 1/4, not sure, but 5 is a ballpark.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then next, residents need to take a look at their homeowner's policy.
Whoa, that's my favorite topic.
Oh, good, good.
Yeah.
And you guys are recommending the HO6 policy.
Correct, because this is a homeowner's insurance, not to be mixed with home warranty plan. As you know, home warranty plan covers just appliances and something around the house, like if your socket doesn't work or your light switch doesn't work, that may be covered, but you don't need to use your home warranty plan because if you call resident services, they could send somebody to get that done too.
Okay.
So best is to use it for your appliances if you're in the condo section, which we are the condo section. And the homeowner's policy would mainly be useful when you have a sudden leak. And I can tell you, it always happens in the middle of the night.
Oh, does it really? Well, that's like the other night. I had my fire alarm go off. Like, why is it always the middle of the night?
Correct.
Why can't it be at 2 in the afternoon?
Correct. So that's why I'm saying keep a homeowner's policy. The HO6 is the correct one to have, and that covers many, many things, especially leaks or moisture intrusion or liability. Some guests come in, trip and fall. It covers that. The medical bill for your friend or whoever, and all that.
So it's the big things that could happen.
Yeah, it's peace of mind, sleep well, and be safe. That's the big thing here.
Wonderful.
That's why we always say use a homeowner's policy.
So definitely check that on your homeowner's policy you have the HO6 insurance.
Yeah, but the agent will be able to guide you through.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
And if all else fails, and if you're still concerned, we do have a risk management person, Dan Yost over here. Call him. He will be happy to guide you and put you in the right direction.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
That's good to know. It's always good to have somebody to talk to and
Yes.
to give you advice.
Sure.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So also there's an opt-out opportunity. I mentioned this briefly at the start of the show.
Yes.
Where residents can help save costs. So tell us about this.
What we're talking about is the mailing that we do twice a year. And that individual mailing cost is about $7.50. So far, we have about 3,000 and so many, how many is it? It's a good number who have already opted out.
Okay.
Our goal is to get to 61 or 2, which is the number of condos we have, so many members in the Third Mutual. So if everybody opts out, we could save a bunch of money because, and I also feel that getting it by email, you can store it in your cloud somewhere. And sorry if I'm using words that are not easy to understand for some older people, but PC Club will be able to definitely assist in understanding that part.
Yeah, you can definitely make a file in your email and then put these in that folder.
But also depends on people who don't use computers or don't have internet. So they do need a paper copy.
Right.
But apart from that, I encourage everybody else to have a email address posted. I think we have until September 1st, which is the deadline, to send an email to information@vmsinc.org and request an opt-out from the mailing. Okay?
And if they don't respond to this, send in the email by the September 1st, then what happens?
Then they get a mailing, by a paper copy. So whatever the current address they have on file is where the mailing will go. So, and
Okay.
we are talking of budgets right now, so the more we save, the lower the expense.
It ends up helping everybody.
Correct.
As
Yeah.
well as the trees as well, and saving money.
Yes, that is a good point.
Yes.
Thank you.
And so third annual election is coming up. The application is done now, and you guys have your candidates.
We have 6 candidates running for 4 seats. That means we definitely have an election. In the past, we've had a same number of seats and candidates. So then they were elected automatically by acclamation, but it's not happening this year. So please be aware that when you receive your ballot, select your candidate and mail it out in time. And be careful. Instructions are there. Spend 10 minutes to read the instructions and do the necessary, because if you do it in a hurry, your ballot may be void and your vote may not be counted. So it's like going to the races and selecting the correct horses.
I like that analogy.
Yes. So you want your horse to win, so be sure to fill in the correct way.
With the correct, it'll say like the correct color ink to use,
whatever.
and to fill the box
fill
correctly.
that tiny,
Yes.
circle that tiny thing or
No
whatever.
check marks.
Correct. All those things. So follow the directions. Don't let your vote be wasted.
Is it an actual person who will do the ballots or is it like a machine that it goes through?
I think it's a machine.
Okay.
And they can come and see it, if I'm not mistaken. It happens in the boardroom downstairs.
Okay.
And the date is, I think, mentioned over here somewhere. It's the
The
9th
ballots will be counted
on that date.
on Friday, September 29th?
Correct.
Okay.
So, yeah. Or
Yeah.
maybe it is on television so they can see it also. I'm not sure, so don't count on everything I say.
And so there will be a Meet the Candidates forum coming up?
I think we already had one.
Oh, it already aired. Okay.
Yeah. And no, the airing dates are up there.
Okay, here we go.
Yes.
So that will air
On
Thursday, September 28th at 1:30 p.m. And
No. Tune in to TV6 to view the recorded candidate forum or statements, which is on September 2nd, 9, 16, 23rd, and 28th. Check your TV guide for replay time details. Okay, that's what I just read that.
So now each of those dates, each one of those is an individual candidate, or each of those dates that you'll see all the candidates' recordings?
That detail is with your department.
Okay.
Not with me.
Okay, so at this point, all the candidates have shot their thing, and then, so we're just waiting for it to air so
Correct.
everyone can see it.
I'm not sure when the candidate, we had that, what do you call it?
Where we had
Meet
the Candidates Forum?
Yes. No, Meet the Candidate Forum will be rebroadcasted on September 28th, but that may be too late because that's the day of the counting. So Meet the Candidate may be airing in between some other date,
Okay.
which may be with your department.
Okay.
And I'm not sure what date that is.
Okay, and then residents, have they already received their ballots?
Ballots are getting mailed on August 30th.
Okay.
And it may be arriving soon after that. So if they don't receive it in a week or so, to call a special number, which is probably not here, Do we have it? I don't think we have it on
I
this.
don't believe I saw a
Yeah.
number to call for that one.
But if they call me or the secretaries, they will be able to get that.
Okay.
And I'm sure there's every effort to make sure that everybody gets the ballot and everybody gets their questions answered.
Okay. So definitely by the beginning of September, they should have received their ballots.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, within a week or 10 days, everybody should have their ballot.
And then they have to mail out their filled out ballot by when? What's the
As
cutoff?
soon as possible.
As soon as possible.
There are two ways to do it. You could either put it in the US mail, or there will be a box outside our VMS outside. Just as you exit the rotunda,
Okay.
there will be a box out there chained to something.
Okay. So you can hand deliver it or into the box, or you can mail it out.
Correct.
Either way.
Yes.
Okay. And then if elected, when do the candidates find out that they got
Same
elected?
day.
The same day?
Same day.
And now, is there a special way that they get notified? Or is it just a phone call, or it gets sent an email, or?
I guess in every possible way that is. I mean, mostly everybody is anxious to know, so they
Yes.
would be present that day.
Okay.
As soon as
So it'll
the
be announced.
counting is finished, there will be a announcement by a meeting. There will be a meeting of the board, of the board members who are still on the board,
Yes.
and it will be announced.
So right after the tabulation, then they will have an announcement there.
Correct. Correct.
How exciting is that?
Yes.
And then
then there's another date when we will seat them. Thursday, October 5th, candidates with most votes will be seated at the board at an annual corporate member meeting.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
So-
First day of work, coming up in
first-
October.
We better be ready.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Well, good luck to all the candidates.
That's-
Thank you, Kush, for being
you.
here today.
No.
It's always a pleasure to see you.
Indeed, you too.
Stay with us because we have announcements and a recap of weather coming up right after the break.